You play any instruments?
I play 0 instruments.
Are you musical? Like, so you don't know anything about music?
I've tried. I was in concert choir in high school, but yeah, I've tried to play drums, keys, guitar. I feel like I could play a couple chords on all of them, including
So you play a couple, like, you know how to pick up a guitar, you play the G chord.
yeah, like G and C probably. That's
G,
it. That's all
C, D. That's kind of what most guitar people know. Remember there was a day when people used to pick up the guitar and they play like a Goo Goo Dolls line, or they play like a Dave Matthews Band.
Mm-hmm. It was so cool.
There's like 3 or 4 like go-to guitar
Stairway
licks.
to Heaven.
Yeah, this is when you pick up a guitar, you learn how to play this, and that is about it.
I feel like now it's all keyboards and synths and pads and stuff. No one learns the guitar anymore.
Yeah, I wonder, like, what happened to the guitar guy? Like in college, there's a guy out in the field on campus playing his guitar.
Yes.
Girls flock.
He just goes out and plays, and they just show up. Does that still happen today, you think? It can't happen.
I bet that it's happening on every university. You know why? Because Guitar Center's still going on. Music is still going on.
It's more DJs in dorm rooms than it is guitars in fields.
I don't know. I think Guitar Guy still exists. Guitar Hero is clearly doing well as far as a game. I bet Guitar Guy is still... this guy would sit out there. He's kind of like an REI looking kind of vibe.
His sandals.
Very sandals.
Never socks. Yep.
Very Huntington Beach. And he's playing, like he's got, what is he playing? He's playing like
maybe some Jack Johnson.
Banana Pancakes.
Oh yeah.
He's playing he's playing not really today's hits, really. Classics.
No, yeah, maybe 70s, 80s rock or something.
Bye bye, Miss American Pie.
Sweet
Drove
Home
my
Alabama.
Chevy to the levee because the levee was dry. And good old boys drinking in the night.
Hold on.
Singing, this be the day that I die.
We need on our Spotify Wrapped a metric that says how many times have you sang in the leadership.
This will be the day that I die.
I'm impressed. I'm not gonna lie.
You remember that song?
Of course.
That's a classic.
Yeah, it sounds like you have some guitar guy in you.
There's a guitar guy lurking right here. Let me tell you, I can frequent by the key of D. I'm mess with the key of E. I'm fluent in the key of G. Those are all, outside of that, I got to use what do they call it? A capo?
Yeah.
I'm a big capo guy.
See, I know maybe a couple of chords, but as soon as you start talking about keys, I have no clue.
I played, on my friend's Takamine guitar. I dabbled, when someone would allow me to play on their nice, what are those nice ones called? Taylor?
Gibsons?
Nice Taylor. Taylor guitar is like the best. Yeah, man, I got to bring it back because, I started on the piano, big piano guy. I love to play piano, but man, piano doesn't draw me in like the guitar.
No.
If you're a young man, you're a leaner and you're like, man, what am I going to do with my life? Start with the guitar. All right, let's go. Well, welcome back, everybody. Thank you so much for being with us today. We're very excited. We are in our new building. We've kind of had a little transition here last couple of weeks, getting set up in our new digs, but we are back at it. And of course, we're talking about our favorite subject here in a moment. The subject of, hit me with it, leadership. You know it. That's why you come here to join us today. We're going to be talking about leadership. And I just want to take a moment to thank everybody that subscribes to our YouTube. By the way, we've been off YouTube a little bit last couple of weeks. Took a little break. Audio, of course, but we're back at it. Thank you to everybody that is a part of our YouTube world, Spotify world. A lot of Spotify raps.
Yeah, absolutely.
I struggle with the Spotify rap because every time someone mentions us, I feel the desire because they're in my tribe. I'm with them. We live in the same nation. I want to repost, but I can't repost that much.
Yeah, it'd be
the
weird.
Reposting is today's retweet.
But about yourself.
And you can't retweet every compliment.
It's true.
It's a real battle I struggle with. I got to be honest. I struggle with the repost.
I don't like it
I see it and I go, gosh, this is so kind. Do I Do I repost it?
If you repost it, but it feels like you're shouting someone out, that's different.
Oh, that's so different.
Then it's just like repost. You can't just repost and not say.
But I do think that the repost shows, something bigger than yourself.
Yeah.
There's a tension there. You cannot do it away. You can't go away from the repost. It's a very essential part of the nation that we're part of. So again, thank you to everybody that's showing the Spotify Wrap. It just means that you're a part of leadership. Lean in the nation. And Leaner Nation, I hope you had a great 2024, but 2025 is going to be the best year of your leadership life. Episode 200 coming up in the month of March. We're going to give you intel and info on it so you can come join us live in person. Cannot wait. Our next opportunity to be together, Zoe Conference. Come join us. We're going to be doing a Leadership Lean In live.
Love it.
At Zoe Conference, January, the very end of January, last couple days of January, and the first day of February. My favorite month to say. February. Come join us. I cannot wait to see you there. But today, let's jump in. We're talking today about creating the right combinations. Leadership is about I never think it's one thing that gets you into health or one thing that gets you into trouble. It's a cocktail of decisions. And I think to create momentum, to create the world that you want to live in, you got to have the right combos, the right combinations. It's so funny. A lot of Saturdays, I take my boys to a very holy place called Chick-fil-A.
Very holy.
A lot of Saturdays.
Mm-hmm.
And when this past Saturday, I said to the boys, get in the van, get in the swagger wagon. We're going to Chick-fil-A. And they were like, Dad, can we get the peppermint milkshake, the holiday milkshake?
Yeah, of course.
I said, of course you can. Get in the car, let's go. But what I love to do with my boys right now is when we pull up and I look at the person and they said, what would you like to order? I hit down the windows and I let my boys order. And they just go, they all know what they want. They all know. My oldest, he puts in the order. My middle one puts in his order, the youngest, and they've all got their orders in. And I have never spent $85 before at Chick-fil-A until this last Saturday. This is a real price.
Since when?
So I my bill's at 85, but all of that is because they all know their combos of what they want. One of them wants a sandwich, the other one wants nuggets, the other one wants an extra large fry on the side, and I just let them go. But to me, it's about what combo do you need in your world, on your team, in your space, to unlock your full potential, to get the best out of the people that are with you and the best out of yourself. I'm going to give you a few things that you're going to need. It's not one of these things. You need a bunch of these things. The combination of these things will create a tidal wave of momentum for you and leading at your full potential. Here's the first one. You need to have a great atmosphere. Just a great environment where you feel like the environment, it is healthy. The atmosphere is believing. We believe in each other. We believe in the mission. We believe in what we're going for. I think one of the things that will kill your leadership and what's going on in your world is cynicism. Cynicism, I think, is the number one destroyer. So you got to find a way to get that out of your atmosphere and get the environment. It's kind of like a kid. Does a kid become great because of nature or nurture? Were they just born great, or was there nurturing? The environment developed grit, developed the ability to problem solve, developed the ability, like I think that's why chores is important for kids, it develops responsibility. So the first thing you need is a great environment. The soil that you're in is a place of health and strength and belief.
That's right. I think something interesting about atmosphere is that you can't see atmosphere, right? Like we walk outside, we are existing in the Earth's atmosphere. You don't go like, whoa, I see the atmosphere, but you feel it.
Oh, man.
And it's the thing that keeps you alive.
Yep.
In the same place, like you walk into a place with a great atmosphere, you feel it, but you can't point at any one thing. It's just like, whoa, this place, there's an energy, there's an excitement. There is, as the Gen Z says, an aura about this place that is exciting.
Yeah, and I think, we've all walked into toxic atmospheres. We've all walked into bad environments where you're like, something doesn't feel right here. Something feels off. Something is funky. Something is not good. good. You can't put your finger on it, but you can sense it.
That's right.
I think the same thing about a great environment, a rocking environment, an awesome environment, an environment that brings the best out of you. You got to have that. Number two, you got to have great expectations. We expect to do great things. We expect to win the ball game. I love this about great coaches is they breed and they build into their team. We expect something good is going to happen. Let's talk NFL just for a second. Let's talk Kansas City Chiefs. These guys are 11-1.
Crazy.
11-1 and are pulling off miracle after miracle. Count them up. 1, 2, 3, 4. I can't even Patrick Mahomes count them all. But you want to know what they believe every time they step on that field? They believe they're going to win.
That's right.
And expectations. One of my favorite sayings about expectations, God always meets us at the level of our expectations. So I think there's something about even when it comes to your faith, expect good things from a good God. But when it comes to your team and when it comes to your leadership, where do you set your expectations? Because if you set them on failure, it's not going to go that good today. I don't know if it's going to, I don't know if anybody's going to, I don't know if we're going to sell. I don't know if we're as good as, a man is ensnared by his words.
That's right.
You got to set great expectations. We expect to win the game. We expect to do well. We expect to take more ground. And when you have that expectations, that confidence, that faith, again, cynicism is the thing that will take you out. But what is the law of opposite of cynicism? Belief, confidence. So you need to have great expectations. Here's the third one. It requires great unity. How could you move forward with your team if we're not unified?
Right.
We're not on the same page. You see a football team go out and nothing drives a coach crazier than this. They take a timeout. You got all this time to get on the same page and run your play. And then you go back out there and here you are after a timeout and you're ready to go and you have to call another timeout because you're not on the same page.
Yep.
Hold on. We just called a timeout and we're not unified enough to go out in strength. I'm forced to call another timeout. That is a bummer. That is debilitating. That takes the wind out of your sails. And I think you got to find a way. Unity doesn't fall from the sky.
No.
You have to fight for relationship.
Yep.
You have to fight for one another. You have to fight for health. You have to find resolution to your conflict. You got to fight for great unity.
Yeah, I think there's a big part of clarity that's involved there as well. So much of unity is fighting for, it's relational, it's social, but the other part of it is, do we clearly know what direction to go? And sometimes it feels like you're walking in the same direction, but little compromises, you end up getting down the line and you realize, wait a second, now that we're into this thing, we're so far away from what we thought the real mission
the original
was.
Yeah. And I think, unity is that thing that, you don't really appreciate it until you don't have it.
That is scary to think about.
When you have it, you're just coasting in it, living in it, feels great. We're just loving it. Life is good. And then when it goes away, it's like when your marriage isn't doing that good. You're kind of like, okay, what just happened? How do I get? I'm so sorry. What did I do?
Yep.
How can we get back on the same page? Because I love life when we are on the same page and we're unified together. And I have just noticed I do not like my life when we're not unified.
The sound of eggshells is the worst sound in the world.
Yeah.
Walking on eggshells around people going like, if I say this, are you guys going to be against me?
Yeah.
Are we going in the same? Yeah.
Yeah. And I think division is that thing. You see it overwhelm teams. You see it overwhelm churches. You see it overwhelm companies. And then that's why everybody gets on their own island and there's offenses and there's, what do offenses do? They build fences.
Can you have disagreement and not have division?
100%.
I feel like sometimes people think, they don't agree with me.
Then they're not my friend or they're not.
Then we're not.
Yeah, stop. Yeah, I mean, I think politics, if there's anything that it's shown us, is that there's people that you love and there's people that you really value that have differing opinions than you. And that's okay.
Yeah.
That doesn't make them so wrong or so evil. I think we have to live in a really big world, I think you have to have a big soul. And in order to have a big soul, it puts a demand on relationship over being right. If you want to be right, I think you're going to live in a really boxed in small world.
That's so hard.
If you want to have relationship,
I want to be right so bad.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, you struggle more than most anybody I know. I mean, this is your cross to bear. I mean, my God. But me, I've never been right a day in my life. So I just go, I love everybody. Here's the next one. Number 4, it takes great buy-in.
Yeah.
Everybody's got to be bought in. Everybody's got to be like, I am for this thing. I am with this thing. I'm getting the tattoo. I'm buying the hoodie. I'm wearing the hat. I'm putting it on my social media bio. There's nothing better than being a part of something that has buy-in. And law of opposite. Let's look at when there's no buy-in. People are I'm out. I'm leaving. I don't want to touch that. I don't want to be associated. I don't want to serve at that level, be sacrifice at that level. No, in order for anything to be great, it requires great sacrifice. It requires great passion. It requires great buy-in, lean in, all in. And when you've got that, I mean, it's like you just start believing, wow, they're all in and they're all in and they're all in. Man, we're going to go 12-1 and we're going to win the game. And we got Patty Mahomes and we're going to ball out. We got Travis Kelce and his girlfriend's in the suite. We're going to do it. But then let's just play the opposite. Well, they're out and they're out and they're out. Maybe I should get out. Mm-hmm. It's contagious.
Yep.
It's kind of like when you leave a party, it's like
once the first
couple gets up, it's like, we gotta go. And then me and Julie look, it's our time. Should we go? Yeah, we gotta go too. I'm so sorry, our sitter. It's always the sitter. Or we say Georgia. It's always Georgia. We gotta go Georgia. It's like I gotta go. So if that's true though, let's find a bunch of people to get all in. Who can you find in your world that will be like the poster child, the examples to the group of this is what all in looks like? Promote them, platform them, celebrate them, honor them. They are building in your culture that all in spirit. Number 5, great diversity. I love this one because we just mentioned politics and differing opinions. But I think in order for something to be great, it's gotta look so different across the board.
That's right.
Not everybody could be, again, we all want to speak the same language, have the same values, be about the same mission, have the same mindset. That has to be the same.
Yep.
But the color of our skin, our socioeconomic background, our age, Bible, let's go Bible. I love that God is the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. There's generations. So I think for something to be great, it's got to have generational buy-in, generational influence. It's not just young people, but it's old people as well. And I think that diversity speaks. People have to walk into what you're building and see themselves. They have to walk into what you're building and go, I see me here.
That's right.
I see my age.
It's really good.
I see my fashion preference. I see my skin color. Wow, I see me.
My skill set, I think is
I see me.
Mm-hmm.
Because that saying like a 10 will never follow a 5. An 8's never going to follow a 4. So you got to get how can you get some 10s around? You got to have diversity. It's so important. Here's the next one. You got to have great clarity and great mission. We're all rallying around this mission. I think one of the hardest jobs and yet one of the easiest things to do is get great clarity around your strategy and your mission. And why it's hard is because you got to carve out time and space to get clear. If it's not clear to you, it'll not be clear to others. And so this is the mission we're about. And so you promote that. And you elevate that and you're clear. And the more clear you are, the more people can rally around that. And when you got clear mission and you got clear values, it's like people go, I'm in, or nah, I'm good. I'm not trying to give my time and my talent and my treasure to that. I'm not interested. But at least I gave you the ability, once you decide, you divide. At least I give you the ability to decide whether you want to be in or be out.
That's right. Yeah, your mission is the clarity. How can you possibly create all these other categories that we're talking about without having something? To me, this is like the biggest tension, especially in kind of like our area of leadership, right? In churches, how do you get people to be bought into mission more than the person that's giving the mission, right?
That's
it's like,
it.
if you're bought into just the person, if the person fails, the whole thing fails.
That's right.
But the combination of these things allows you to follow this mission. So that way it's not, you watch Shark Tank?
A little bit. I like the clips. Yes.
Well, one of the guys, Kevin O'Leary, he always goes like, if you get hit by a bus,
Is this going to live?
is this going to live?
That's so good.
And the mission allows it
That's
to
right.
live.
That's right. And what's so funny is, speaking of churches, I saw this video where this guy was saying, growing up, everybody was brother so-and-so and sister so-and-so. People were known in their church communities, and the church membership was bigger. Now it's people buy into the pastor. Mm-hmm. I follow so-and-so. Maybe there's a little Paul there. Yeah. And I think, like you're saying, it's got to be bigger than any personality. Mm-hmm. It's got to be bigger than any person. It has to be about the mission and the values. That has to be so clear. Here's the next one. Number 7, you got to have great systems. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this, but this is James Clear 101, and we are big James Clear fans. So we have a James Clear to hit.
Don't right now. We'll add it for
we're James Clear without. By the way, 2025, give us some suggestions. We're updating the whole board. Give us some sound bites. We're updating the whole board. We got John Maxwell. We got Nick Saban. We hit him with the Craig Rochelle. We got Travis Green. We got a little we got some good ones. We got Simon Sinek's on there still?
Nope.
No. Okay, so we're gonna update. Anybody is a candidate to be on the Leadership Lean In board next year. But James Clear, who used to be on the board, says you don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems. So it's not about how great your goals are. As you get ready for 2025, it's not how great your goals are. Tell me about your systems, because he says your systems are perfectly designed to deliver the results you are currently getting. Mm-hmm. Is that not the most haunting thing you've ever heard in your life? Your systems are perfectly designed to deliver the results you're currently getting. So let's improve and let's have great systems. Just 2 more. Great empowerment. You got to have great empowerment. I love the word empowerment. I feel empowered when I use the word empowerment. Empowerment to me is just going like, the power I have, I give to you. Yeah. I empower. I give my power to you, my authority to you. So the strength of who you are as a leader is not in what you can do, it's in what you could give away, what you can empower. And when you empower well, you're saying, I believe not just in me, I believe in you. And that to me is a sign of a great leader.
That's really good. Yeah, absolutely. I'm like, that was you wrapped it up so well. I'm like, what do I add to this? Absolutely.
That was so good.
You shocked me for a second.
Sometimes I'm like, let's just see if he has something. Let's just see if he's ready to go.
I was like,
let's just see.
I feel like
I want to empower you. I was trying to empower you.
There it is.
Forgive me. I'm trying to empower you to talk. Man, come on, bro.
I mean, does anyone actually have power if they can't share it?
So let me ask you this. When was a time that you as a leader felt like you weren't empowered to do what you were asked to do?
I mean, that's such a great question. I think the easiest way to say this, and probably the most relatable, is budget.
Yeah.
Is to go like, man, I feel like we have such a big vision in our heart, and what we both want out of this thing is bigger than maybe our budget allows us to empower us to do. And so if it makes you go like, okay, now I got to get creative now, because just because the resource isn't there doesn't mean I'm not empowered to do it. And it's a perspective shift, I think. I think more often, if you feel like you're not empowered, it's a you thing, not your overseer thing. And I don't know, maybe that's not accurate, but in my experience, I go like, oh, they actually want me to take the risk. They want me to step out.
Yeah, that's right.
They want me to overachieve. They want me to make the mistake so I can learn.
Well, it's the whole saying, I'd rather pull somebody back than have to,
prod them.
Yeah, try and encourage them. Come on, man, let's go.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing. But I think empowerment starts with me. It does not start with them. It starts with me being clear. I empower you. I give you the authority to do this. You have the authority to make the decision. I trust in you. I believe in you. You are equipped and you are great at this. Go do it.
Actually, I'll clarify this. I feel least empowered when I'm trying to impress you or a different leader. Not impress, but live up to your expectation.
There you go.
Versus trying to actually accomplish a thing that is my responsibility.
There you go. That's very
Whenever
key.
I'm trying to
impress anybody. Trying to impress somebody just never works out.
It doesn't work.
It never works. And if I ever set out to impress somebody, I'm done.
Or not disappoint. It's like,
yeah, I'm done.
But if I'm chasing it, yeah.
You know what I mean? Number 9, here's the last one. I love this. It requires, here's a great combo. So you think about this. You pull up to the window and you're like, okay, I'll order some great atmosphere and give me some unity. And what do you guys want? Yeah, I'll do a side of empowerment. And you got to get the right combo. Here's the last one that you need. You need great maturity. And maturity to me is depth. Because it's going to get hard and it's going to get lonely and it's not going to, you're not going to get that many thank you cards. And what you do is done in the shadows. Nobody's really going to see it. And you got to have a depth of maturity around you where it's like, I'm good. I'm settled. I don't have anything to prove. I don't have anything to lose. I'm going to put my best foot forward every day. I'm going to try my hardest every single day. And the results will take care of themselves. I'm not worried about results. I'm more worried about effort. We talk about this a lot. I can only control 2 things, my input and my attitude, how hard I work and the attitude in which I work. So that requires great maturity. And I want to encourage you, there's a lot more for you in your future. You've got a massive future. 2025 is going to be the best year of your life. You're going to do so well. The maturity it requires of you, the patience that you'll need, the perspective that you'll need, the premise in which you'll need to approach your tasks, the paradigm shift for you to see it at a different vantage is just going to be such a big deal for you this next year. What it will require of you is the immature version of you, which is the selfish, insecure, very, very jealous, very threatened version of you has to die. The very irresponsible version of you, which lacks excellence, which has such great desire but doesn't have the work ethic, that has to go away because you're not a child anymore. So when we're a child, you talk like a child and you thought like a child, but you're not a child anymore. You're a leader. So you have to grow up. And as you grow up and develop, you have to walk in great maturity. The best leaders in the world have gone through hell and back and have gone through such difficult times. Why we respect them and are inspired by them is they just kept going. And they kept believing in that calling and that dream and that vision. And they put their best foot forward because they believe that the best was in front of them, not behind them. And you're the same. So these are some combos you need, but the last one I'll leave you with is great maturity. We love you. It's just good to be back.
It is, yeah.
It's good to be back. We missed you. We loved you. I'm talking to YouTube right now. Spotify, you're like, where do we never went nowhere. Everybody's on Apple Podcasts and like, what are you talking about? It's good to be back with YouTube. It's good to be back on the visual side. We love you. We'll be back next Thursday. We love you. We'll see you.